The elderly lady was astonished to see that the woman in front of her looked remarkably similar to how she looked in her youth. She assumed the woman might be the illegitimate daughter of one of her sons, so she began inquiring about the woman's background, wanting to know who her biological parents were. The woman revealed that she had no father, and that her mother had lived abroad all her life. The elderly couple assumed the woman's father had passed away and felt a bit disappointed. The old lady then apologized to the woman, saying she shouldn't have brought up such a painful topic. To her surprise, the woman said that her father was still very much alive, but her mother had become pregnant out of wedlock, and her father had separated from her mother before she was born. That's why she had said she had no father. Upon hearing this, the elderly couple became even more suspicious that the woman might be their granddaughter, but they didn't know which son she might belong to. After returning home, the old lady immediately summoned her 3 sons. Holding a wooden stick, she asked them who had fathered an illegitimate daughter outside. The 3 sons exchanged glances, and each denied having an illegitimate daughter. But the elderly couple didn't believe them. They pointed out that the woman looked so much like the old lady in her youth, she must be related by blood, and demanded that the sons confess the truth. The youngest son was the first to stand up and prove his innocence. He emphasized that the woman was 23 years old while he was only 34. Even if he had an illegitimate daughter, she couldn't be that old. The old lady accepted his explanation and told him to sit aside. Next, the second son tried to use the same reasoning, but his older brother stopped him because at 45 that excuse wouldn't hold up. The second son then tried to shift the focus to the eldest brother, but the old lady believed that the eldest son and his wife were deeply in love, so he would never cheat, let alone have an illegitimate child. So she told the eldest son to sit aside as well. Then the elderly couple pressed the second son to confess, wanting to know when their 45-year-old unmarried son had fathered an illegitimate daughter. To their surprise, the second son still denied having an illegitimate daughter. He said he had only been in one relationship before, and that woman was the only daughter of an overseas oil tycoon, now a wealthy heiress. He added that he had met the 23-year-old woman not long ago, and she was just a rural woman with no connection to the heiress. At this point, the old lady stood up, saying that the woman had indeed lived abroad, and that her rustic appearance was just a coincidence. She then urged her son to go and acknowledge the woman as his daughter, and bring back her only granddaughter. At this point, the man's 2 brothers chimed in, teasing him for being heartless while supporting their mother's decision. But the man didn't want to acknowledge the daughter because he had seen her single-handedly take down more than a dozen security guards. He feared that once the woman knew he was her father, she might kill him. But when his parents heard this description, they became even more fond of their yet-to-be reunited granddaughter. Under his mother's pressure, the man didn't dare refuse, so he reluctantly agreed to go and have a paternity test with the woman.